President of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, we are sorry, we are really sorry.
A president Ofriano Echo Japan now do about 19 hours connection to Japan. I mean, how?
I'm not seeing exactly what actually the country is doing. The concentration was to bury the people, and then we buried them. Investigation in Ankasano, I died down.
The first person that should apologize to Ghanaians, Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa. Who feels that enipa and motrina ewu yeno. Omo contribution and more plain na nanke yakotono ana.
Enti President John Dramani Mahama echo Japan na oko Japan no ni time a odi ye ewo kwan mu tin amanfo ebusa se na aden Ghana presidential jet ewo yi na aden ti na wanfa ni nua private jet Ibrahim Mahama na edi ti na president ebeko baabi sa abeko Japan akoye program na obeye transit ene ade a ne no na even all kono onabo asafo old tafo MPP MP mema allegation say president ahan jet said the Nana Danko Akufo-Addo ehan bie ne bread time no saa ne ba ya so ko wi achi no report by say President Mahama efa Emirates eno so koye say ase omo atwantro na eno na pawado mo kire epa chew say president e pa chew say wakodi baabia so many hours ansana okuduru Japan na ona bo kan Japan a react a o kire say saa na do time no mo pese omo ye bibi fast a presidential jet no ho na omo edi hu kita ho na wie pe ya Okudzeto Ablakwa Honorable Minister for Foreign Affairs sesei okoba otata na do sa na Honorable kan Japan kire say Okudzeto emepa chew no mba ne head in shame na Honorable Ablakwa so the reply aba or refer na do time year 2000 oni late President JJ Rawlings and also efa presidential jet ihu a chese o chese ompa chew na sansem yi fa helicopter nsem any presidential jet nsem na Farouk Wahab chese said the omo raise concern fa helicopter crash nsem so be investigation onu de ohun ni say ewu ke onye sure say investigation papa bia ebekos na say na po admo chire
Mr. President, we are sorry, we are really sorry. President of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, was traveling from Accra to Japan, 20,238 kilometers. Japan is 9 hours ahead of Ghana. So what's the time right now? So it's 9:36 in Accra. The time in Japan is 9 hours ahead. So it's 9 o'clock. So you go from 9, 10, 11, 12. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. It's 6:30 a.m. in Japan. The president traveled 20,000 kilometers. He traveled, as the story says, on Emirates, which is okay, which is understandable, which we appreciate. He traveled on Emirates airline. He traveled in first class, quite comfortable, and then he got to Dubai. We understand that in Dubai, from Kofi Tonto and others on social media, that the president left Ghana on Sunday evening but arrived in Japan just today. He waited 22 hours in Dubai, had to use a train for about 2 hours to Tokyo, from Tokyo to Yokohama, as Empire FM said it. The president had to suffer because of petty politics. Yes, petty politics, petty politics, politics that is animated by hatred. That's why I'm sad today. Because of somebody's ambition for power, he denigrates a president so much so that another person becomes president and he's afraid to make a decision in the interest of the president's safety, in the interest of the president's comfort so that he can think, in the interest of the president's security so that he's confident to present his case. President of Ghana is sitting at a location in Dubai, 22 hours. What kind of security is provided for him over there? He's not in the comfort of his Jubilee house, where all the security is available. The Ghana Armed Forces are available. The Ghana Police Service is available. National security is available. But here, he's in a location outside his country and he's not in his own plane. He's sitting in a location 22 hours. Why? Because of terrible politics. Bad politics. Never again. We should never encourage that again. People encouraged it. Hey, Akufo-Addo is he's bathing in the air. He can't bath in the air. When Dominic Nitiwu stood before Parliament and said that the presidential jet is not fit for purpose and that the president cannot even freshen up in it. Hey, come and see cartoon. The cartoon, they had the Daily Guide guy, what's his name? I remember his name. There's a TV3 guy, both of them are very good. Tilapia put cartoon. Then they have Akufo-Addo with some boxer shorts and he's holding a pail. And he's pouring water on himself and he's sitting in some aircraft. And one by one, the votes of the party was winning away. Ghanaians were getting upset because they trust politicians. And this politician here wanted to make a meal out of something that was about national security. So President Akufo-Addo travels, he comes. Oh, Akufo-Addo thinks we don't know. He traveled and he came back in a private jet. He arrived at 1 a.m. I saw him. He thinks that he's hiding. People caution that this is very dangerous. Publishing the president's itinerary is very dangerous. Nobody listened. Of course, the prices were high. So if prices are high, we all don't listen. I'm guilty, and that's why I'm rendering an apology to the president. I'm guilty. I had occasion to go and complain. Why is the president flying this, Other people complained. I remember in one of my complaints, one of them, I won't mention his name, he said, oh, clear off. Why are you following the NDC propaganda? And I said, this NDC propaganda is going to cost us the election. I'm guilty. I feel very guilty. Because I love President Mahama. He's a nice guy. People love him. Why should he? If President Mahama is not president of Ghana, I can assure you, he's not going to sit in any airport for 22 hours. Why would he do that? Why is he going to do that? The only reason why President Mahama had to be cocooned in an airport for 22 hours is because he's president of Ghana. If President Mahama is not president of Ghana, having been president before, there are many things he can do. He can call on his friend. He can call on another head of state. He can do so many things. And since Akufo-Addo traveled to Nigeria recently, I don't think that he used any commercial plane. He's former president. He can call on his friend, please pick me up. President Mahama would have. But today, President Mahama is frightened. How is he going to call for a private? Hey! This is a president whose brother has a private jet. Think about it. Think about it. The people who are renting houses at Airport Hills, their politics is what has brought us here. Terrible politics. And then today is foreign minister. How is he going to manage it? Foreign minister, you should be making
This is the reaction of Honorable Agyapong concerning this presidential jet. President Mahama Eko chair ya sana udu Japan.
And now no ewiemhye kwahwe hoi na esa so ho nim die nti na ne course bia wonim ti wadaworoma Ghana for pinchi mu atie ne come nsem we nya ba aeroplane yantumi anto bi ne omom sorry tie nya wadaworoma ma yinkyire mu.
Yo, that's it. On said nonsense in tankasa. Or radios or any TV show, but we here as in here, I also a year addition and my Ghana first. I mean, kind of Ghana for yes, some can have politician a Juma Umudi Hundi. There be no politicians, no woman be take a decision via a boa Ghana cra, muso propaganda, some opposition for any Ghana phobia, a becantino. Why do I say this? Emra President Akufo-Addo etu kwan play ne na woko time play ne ko utie nsem a ekọ so e wo Ghana ha ade pa ko Ghana for ewu fini se president tu kwan a okọ meetings a wo ye enioma etimi firi mu ba one trip ha woko no ade a wonya ba Ghana etimi to play ne be 20 times, but Ghanaians don't consider that. Na ye propaganda me mpe independent semka, but matisa obia ka say NDC for should apologize to Ghanaians. The first person that should apologize to Ghanaians Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa. Adenti na me kasa Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa, me na me chairman that time, chairman defense and interior muntie enna yakoto air force plane. Even no members in call Honorable Agaga, me na me busy. Into Honorable Agaga and the lead team no Echo Czech Republic. By the approval by Parliament, I presented the case on the floor of the House. Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa opposed to it. Mumisa MP said there was a banter for the first time between NDC and NDC. Okudzeto Ablakwa and Honorable Agaga. Because Okudzeto said he okopulu aircraft the cost of you from Brazil which I said in Yomabia Honorable Okudzeto here and tokwa a sea and an argument a buy we have to stop it. And then he's a full beneficiary of government troubles because we're a foreign affairs minister. You know, the Momian propaganda and punching the young meaning of my Ghana who say any part and Motrina a woo yeno, or contribution, a more plain and Kotono a more, and when I'm person Ghana for arguing a basso. Say, as someone SCA, NDC for uncommon propaganda. What is the MPP for at the year propaganda? That is the difference between any woman say, Obi Adia Babua or mine, young fine yet politics, and yet so dirty about it. For the first time, I agree, say, Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa, his behavior towards MPP Kufuor's travels and what he did in Parliament that day, not ask him. He has to come up. He's a human being. He never knew, say, no, be kura position, say, in Tisane Abba, he should come out boldly as a good citizen of this country and apologize to the whole country, and I believe Ghanaians will forgive him. Because in Yomba Okudzeto Ablakwa year President Kufuor travels. Me brother Hamio, by any committee, the leader of the delegation, Menya Kwankubi, Agaga, NDC, he was my ranking member. According to the report, Abba. Now you take a decision on the floor of the house. And talk between them. Because of the populist approach by Honorable Ablakwa. Oh, the is unfortunate that we've lost lives. Mami Sama history. Even aircraft now areas here. President Kufuor, Honorable Kandapa, and an Minister for Defense. The entire America say Ghana for and some keka about politicians in the Juma Huntino will be esru. And yet, and a Kufuor Abraham President Kufuor time, I remember very well. It was last minute, and when we decided, say, it was a top aircraft menu at the Air Force. When he said, even among as MPP, President Kufuor, a meeting or Honorable ICP, we were afraid of what Ghanaians were going to say. So last minute, you know, we decided to buy one instead of two. We never bought the two. We never bought the two because we were even afraid of Ghana from what they were going to say. I am giving you all these references to serve as a caution and a lesson to us. Said Debiano, yes, when do politicians once were and yet Debia say be a sick no. But I come to money, I am benefits and I'm swa or mampenny qua obetini enya ediaba. Now share the cost of travel no na yemfanye esuade because so Okudzeto Ablakwa agreed that time and your tall aircraft military aircraft ma woman e bia sabe eni die ma and can you see na anu August 6 na sesemi e bia anka ensi inti bibi anso na yesua ho nyansa inti ena de bibi pasa na fa omampanyin ho a inti how do you feel say a president ofri anu eko Japan eko fa plane eko si Dubai now the about 19 hours connection to Japan. I mean how yeah communion share benefit obetime de aba now next time as politicians you know yeah propaganda or politics more near who to benefit the country and what will not benefit the country.
You honorable way there, yenya we there, answer now Becrono, ye bisa say anti aircraft no one sem no sabre, ususu say a den so mine no enye one. And when konya see a better, and I say ye day.
Media I subscribe to it say yento aircraft papa a be mass safety for the travel of the president and his entourage. Because the president only call baby there be a foreign minister come other dignitaries come. The president trips involves more than the 10 people, more than 10 people weighing 8 you. And can you afford to lose any DMO president more and in the entourage because of an old aircraft? And serious. We all have to come together. You see, there be a yesu here, and yesu here. But only panajuma woko ya this ikabe and the is a populist, They should buy a new one, but they should be ashamed of themselves. All the criticisms they leveled against the Kufuor's struggle and they are too and they finding a way to appeal to Ghanaians. Say Yanyama, but and paying for say the idea and idea why and for the sake of the country and its development, the minimum they agree said they should buy a new aircraft and they should resource the military. Another aircraft to be a yadi call Kamali Boku conflict near Koshe Ayene. Aircraft in Ukraine and EDMO is nothing to write home about. Which means I know what I want to call United Nations here in come on, we have to do something about it. They agree, Yam Fabian Tonching, Yama, and yet Mamma Juan Obutumes. Subsequent leaders at the they have the opportunity to use it. So we have first 1 year. How many years and yet you know? Opa, already off. Trade off meaning say now you go with the old aircraft, they assess the crew. Now Oma new one year price no free. Omo cross between retrofit the new old one as I'm a year at trauma will be our best water. Kini mom de I agree say ento foforo.
Honorable Ewie yabedo ase ene bra wo no man kase atwehwe nkomo.
Yo, it's very nice.
And with what Honorable Agyapong any the SEC MP4 nyina and Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, Honorable Minister for Foreign Affairs, Ebechurugu said the presidential jet debate, my proud legacy for God and country, and why dishonest pain and hate campaigns cannot defeat truth. And yeah, Ochurugu or Tintin, the document the year 2000, Nana Danko Akufo-Addo, and also a debate on presidential jets against JJ. Any other news portals defense minister Nana Danko Akufo-Addo president time honorable Nitiwu they buy what they screenshot ebeto no chirima so no dey proud pa say base obusa foreign affairs honsem president akwantu and say dey osi na ono no ho na for God and country no just say the year 2000 late former president JJ Rawlings say ono so beto presidential jet ni bi Nana Danko Akufo-Addo ne time ono so opposite o chese ehun hia enti onim di enti ono Ablakwa question Nana Addo akwantu ene ne na ekokoso ohunu se ne ntwa yie no MPP attack no omo enrefer Nana Addo time oni JJ if he says 2000 ni mu ho no time a president Akufo-Addo question JJ Rawlings say adenti na okoto presidential jet no eno ma ode toto say ehun hia say oto presidential jet no sebi nyansa wo mu ana sika omde kwa akoto no sika botina presidential jet ni bo ana say ni bo den dodo obi be so otwi bi fam transparency wo mu ni nyina ye ade a Nana Danko Akufo-Addo ejina so against JJ Rawlings and who the down the line 17 years later Nana Addo ebeye president Nana Addo nangasa apply sa principle ojina so against JJ Rawlings na fail or no Ablakwa eba year 2021 to 2024 ojina Nana Addo so no MPP for attacking no one tiase enti ono onunu ho da say ono so ejina Nana Addo so ama Nana Addo ejai very expensive luxury jet per hour na ohan na yeje no $18,000 an hour abra no hu ni say Ghana wa presidential jet imperfection ebo adwuma yie pa enti no hu ni say wasteful reckless unjustified don de oye no Ghana sika na obo ho ban ono de onye na adwen so we pa cho na nimpo ono de ogidi say Ghana fo aye proud de oye no Ghana fo ani age pa enti a cho papa de lalai ono nanse ya onabo asafua ekoye bi ofeli ye poto ntro poto no de eba ye ma Ghana fo kra kire se onchi onabo asafo a etafo MP na onchire na de efise tafo MP na no ohuni se de oye no entro no beso otwa to government ni so ye Mahama government ni so keke Ghana ni na kumemu chese nyamisuro kura ni na kumemu enu nti omo beso musua no de oye ye no Ablakwa pressure de ma president Nana Danko Akufo-Addo no ema wo jai presidential jet no han na monfo yes wo dware wo wiem ni nyina no jai in his last officer a boy if na Ghana fo bu ofupa nti onu kura no ni ji se president Akufo-Addo ejai luxurious jet rentals no na afi okofa presidential jet no mid 2023 na ebi mkura kire se di dia Nana do echange na adwen no se IMF na ye de ka be $3 billion enu nti enema Nana do esesa na adwen nti from mid 2023 ne banan last 8 months Nana do etina so ansana President Mahama Eba Nana do issue presidential jet or turn 2008 $37 million no issue ye ana echrese presidential jet no it was still good enough for presidential travels na time Nana do ejai presidential jet ni use na o use luxurious expensive rentals no na other African presidents use ye jet no a cheso mo de omo twikoba in June 2021 okobusa ho question say presidential jet na adentina Nana Danko Akufo-Addo use honorable Dominic Nitiwu na o defense minister Nana Danko Akufo-Addo government mu no o kire say presidential jet na adwuma pa kama na dintia na Danko Akufo-Addo use ni say ontimi enware wo wiem ontimi shawa wo wiem enu nti na omo asesa na say o han presidential jet ni bi no za na Okudzeto Ablakwa kire nti se nei amanfo defend president Nana Danko Akufo-Addo ntropa no mu di defend Nana do fi say no oye bi 2000 mu against President JJ Rawlings na sebi de MPP for ye no didi atem ye jese enyina so bia ni so na omo onim se Ghana for smart na Ghana for sebi yenyimi ye sa na Ablakwa ebese o kire nti sa time a ogina Nana do so 2021 eba na Nana do akire obejai ye presidential jet a han no na Nana do tie ni ntema anka esevu Ghana economic mess a ye famu na Nana do spend over 120 million Ghana cedis on say all high luxurious presidential jet $97 million a yehu be say national cathedral Nana do we see sika and several corruption scandals to the extent say ordinary citizens sebi no mu twadwadwo financial haircut ni ade na shameful pa areho onabo Ablakwa echira se Ghana ekokope besia bo na Ghana esrese countries ni bi ho no mu a omumwa na economy no NCA ni nyina Nana Danko Akufo-Addo ni sika was spendi ye presidential jet oko han ho na saa nkuru na ye kobo besia no sebi omo presidential jet no omo nye no basa de se de Nana do ye no se okọ na akofa presidential jet no campaign wa de a se utua taxpayers money omo enye Ghana for esika ene yese oditua sempo uko han ebi in the name of Ghana na se odikoye wa de a yese utua ka ni nyina Nana Danko Akufo-Addo anya ni sa economy na oye ni basa ne nei awrehosem ene ngwasesem yebisa amama se omo enye economy ni mayen enti ono enei o kai Ghana for bi ni mu a sebi MPP for ene propaganda for a omo epese omo twantro se there is a difference between helicopter kwotehwe and presidential jet nti ema omfa saa de si no entoto presidential jet a ogina Nana Danko Akufo-Addo so no nti Mahama government president Mahama government ne papa Mahama government die omayo madwu so mbe Ghana yi ombe reset Ghana omakoma da Ghana so pa na Ghana da omakoma so nti ombe Ghana ye with truth, modesty, deep respect for Ghanaian people. Nano Okudzeto esichire ye echo sa no ma we nyina to wonum na manfo busa se na presidential jet no adwuma edi nti na president Mahama emfro DNT na President Mahama Shase no use Ninya Ibrahim Mahama private jet na afi akwaduru se wo Japan kra na say okotina bia be so many hours na ansana wa transit ni ade DNT na mana ka obasa na jese presidential jet ya Ghana ewi enye adwuma ana o mechirem nanso Honorable Ablakwa HS ni reply a odima Honorable Ken Agyapong ene Honorable Asafo Atafo MP ene omo aka no na chow papa de lalai odimi me pa chow da na sansem yi fa helicopter sem ya ekohwe oboase ekwan sui a chese nipa bebre kan ho asem a Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa beka se America for ebeboa forensic na omaye investigation a DC ye ne de ko ye ne de ba ye ne Farouk a Wahab kire se ono onye sure investigation bia sie na no mbeso omkosie omo keke.
But as far as I'm concerned, me who say ya launch as a country and I say ye timbi ye news in bits say forensic for ye invite American forensics. I'm not seeing exactly what actually the country is doing. The concentration was to bury the people and then we buried them. But indeed, it looks as if say investigation in Ankasano usually as a Ghana and Adiano I died down. Obakaya, this country, when it comes to Bibania Hypuvia, something new that comes in, that is the end of the day. Now, unfortunately, look at how the whole country lumba. We buy and say Rubikra and Kaikwa say lumba biabako. That is how the country is. And it's the same thing that we're doing. The hype was to bury them. And the hype was your mom's state burial, befitting burial, their mom. But you see what? Aircraft accident, as I've said it. And yet, particularly, say Nipano, as Sebi, Nyamiatun in Safreno, and in a money a homitism. Because car accident in Kum Nipa 70 be 25, 15, 16 woo. But aircraft here, ni sensitiveness, and he said, and can be a machine bit material to Kum, and can you pay be we a dozen. Kamashini bitima say niema, a bitima kobo airport, a bitima say so many things because it's flying in the mid-air and over down. Entinea man for say when there's an aircraft accident, it is the safety of tomorrow. And in a aviation investigations, you know, a year very serious. Now I didn't say be articulator, echo shase, ekumnipa 25, ekubu bit down gumnipa, and there even fire service for currency. Timamufona ne kuyi nkofo no obi akura nsiho bi adenti na we de ye tue sika say forensic formra enti the point is say my bisa ye wo airport operate for years air force for nanedia and aviation Ghana civil aviation and operators managers of the airport ya established by police act crew we say aircraft accident rescue operations team a year established by law crew we see airport police and a head Ghana civil aviation a member air traffic control or a member key member air force nankasa a member Ghana army a member Ghana police a member national security a member immigration or airport in Toronto a member and then other security agencies our country you know me members until was a team ni wo up to now Obia, including the Air Force, nani plane at Yatono. Ontimi memma, even the entire Air Force be amona mate. Mean who any Air Force say or grantee and I say or yet press conference and a press worry. Yentibi. And the investigation, and he say country Bianca right now, either civil aviation and a Ghana Air Force. Why yen the press conference say na adianity na process a government taking it. Now, Bettina Minister, we are say the black boss, as American former boy. Obettino, I can say who black boss, a cry or I say all those things, you know, even the crime or the accident scene, information investigation is distorted already. It is distorted. Ubia Rahubi, Ubia Kuhubi, Ibia Fan Jansen, no, a shishi, metas in the Akufi, Afri Nibisi, Akojis Casa, the Ababak, what they beto hine, when the 2 year, maybe says, when the 2 even black boss, no. Or the day in the 3 year. No one who experienced black box who get tampana about distort information. And Amaka say, okay, you black boss. But before say black boss ne play ni beshiasino. na nkomo bi akoso between the radar and air traffic control on a pilot no emra pilot no eye ne checklist obetu ni speed obeko speed rate and one aviation air traffic control di hu nkomo height kro obeko oni ni di hu nkomo ni nyina ne ba cockpit voice recorder no so CVR no enti di akodi black box no dey play ni dey yenhu pilot o mawu nemom dey o mo ne dey ne dey air recorder te same no kase e wo ho enti anu so yentimi mom obi antibi o mo say plane aira plane no okọ how many feet sa aircraft no sa Z9 no ebi ma start to say na plane here dada it is not true Z9 dada eno nche ne versatility a week ye wo plane na backroom ha KLM model no ebi anya be 40 years but it has been refurbished. Rolls-Royce engine said that's a plane maybe anya be for 70 years since they fly.
Yes, 1974.
Yes, so flight in 1974. Yes, you bet my manufacture be in 1920. But the woman kwa kojino, our China for her. Now we share a year of manufacture, and we share strength. And the also a refurbished. Plane abroad from Betun Toma in a refurbished. That is the reality. South Africa from Kutubi, Dodona refurbished. And then in maintenance, culture, and in versatility, and in equipment in a cra, and equipment in a dear. And this our phone, yeah, there be an updates for Froba. And the apps in Omasa Sang. In 1974 apps no and a degusu. The new one Omar refurbished. And the machine can be old. Anything a helicopter de ma military no. Or no my remodify inside no. We say no say 8-passenger machine. Yatia say 8-passenger machine no. Omu designing no for airborne. Air Force for use. And no designing no say for your friend say air ambulance. The same player and go for area timi do kofa wom. The same player de atwifunu okroma sa afafunu e de kotamale afafunu de kokumase. The same play. Enti oma ye ni way say so the body na esima no makotutu nkonwa no. Ye film na e holo no the body sinachim. De kofa air ambulance obi area redesigning no equipment ni nyina go no de go. Enti it's not about the age. Me mabusa dey simpler. Ye me yente say air traffic control. Play no nyansa kache say to 912 nya helicopter na ahwe ase na pilot na baka che say 912 one the baka che air traffic control and it's also a to 912 ayate ase ira time ben ene de untimi nka because all betu no watch us meko 5000 feet meko 10 kilometers and answer me co speed rate of this only communicate a voice a airport ho aviation for air traffic control recorder so. And a sister, play no baby ana edu. And I've even asked this Air Force into team mekasai. Baby ana edu no. Obi original farms edi na new aircraft no. E the plane original form who sesin se ho either 1,000 feet and 1,500 feet. 1,000 feet in size Z9 no, Z9 no. Or the only 3 minutes or 1,000 feet or the 2 minutes ne si form. And it's an interesting thing. A classic furniture say, na enam kronu so na eba na besingura edi na ni hwe nwira ni mu. And it's about 1,000 feet and 2 minutes to land because every 500 feet be a Z9 or drop 1 minute. Every 500 minutes feet be a or drop 1 minute in order drop. And it's no 1,000 feet and go 2 minutes to land. Now 2 minutes to land and when see crew na bontin baby abra Ghana kura bia se school ho bia na your park ho e ho na helicopter onya distress a wosi ye hu de bae a odi na ni besa akọ forest ni mu edi na ni akọpọ e bia okọ akọbọ mountains bi mu ene ye mu bia ka se mokọ check wo nwira mu ho hwe se unfriendly fire obi an launch rocket obi an fa artillery bia hit flight no ye nte ho asem ena mo nche se me makasa flight no team kanjan say na flight na ira so lusu ne navigation and na no free radar so a flight aira no me de baby ana all corner ni destination enclave aira won team kodu ho and as a flight in Z9 no they make a show say enye dada say do mo kan no dada and it's not true che say of filling fuel no betima flight 3.5 hours. What does it mean? 3.5 hours no say iraya ero kofa enkade ne bedu Abuja Nigeria ama netwem se okofa Cote d'Ivoire side ewo nsuo no so ena oru atakrade a enkade ne bedu Liberia ana Sierra Leone ana Guinea ana Senegal sal height no ena flight in distance in the timiko the intiam just a machine that said there omo cancer Z9 no a stronger machine na France for using the Dolphins American for using Dolphins ne ho de ne versatility no omo building mani to perform the same function at the said the jet air function and only the only helicopter jet wakwa jet be called 13,000 14,000 passion my titimo na call 11,000 12,000 13,000 a bit ma call 14,000 by air space no yeni mountain bia wa ha passion air to ultim call 30,000 a bit ma costro but we hear that distance because say oben no wasabi si from into unko shesro and a helicopter wait me call the same thing helicopter no omo build this helicopter Z9 no omo ya need to say passenger jet baby a distance passion could be obit mako ni speed at distance could be obit mako into aviation for mechanic say flight ni loadu ni weight or pick ni height our de beko ena ni descent rate or can say obe descend at how many minutes per 500 meter ena di ono kan ho asem and was meko 5,000 meters and 4,000 meters or no can wasem a young come to say the old record me no can say we are and say the phone to now the tour does it mean say programmers and I say producer obi obecha obi abetima wetima sabo dem mean come yana sanity flights the same thing a flight recorder in city enti me no waka say we me dim phone to medum no also do phone to wadum wa free a year a chanopa which my producer say interview na many hour have here no but say interview me pesimity and I say na otie enti say air traffic control on comma on a flight no edie and sana o take it off and sana hu so 2912 in the time na o be free ni radar no so no na was so do height ben no 2000 and I know 3,000 feet high na kro ben so na no wadu and I want to hear and the master busa say so you have to radar so air force for plane and is horn and then woman to sa plane and follow plane and cautious say you free so you hunu radar so cautious no na ni bibi minuaba you will Kumasi or say to
and it looks
like
to
the second international Debbie Metonka Kumasi International Airport. Ono ye only 10 minutes away from Obuasi baby plane ko tetoye. Kumasi Airport ono so radar control ni be local one and we coordinate with Accra. And it's Accra na our flight and we see we hu ni radar control no so. What about Kumasi Airport? Sa flight take off from Kumasi Airport so ko Obuasi baby plane ko toya. Take off and land in 10 minutes. And your radar control you want a air traffic control tower no ABC Kumasi it is Accra NSC one huna Kumasi the NSC one huna asa na Ghana your problem the majority dem say na say
helicopter ba ko say helicopter ba ko ahwiase a wo ti yen sam fa ba ko nko ho ye kwa adie na ye kope
madam na just say wo kan say me amamanfo atie say ye military ne wo ho na army ne wo ho na ka say hunhia because ye ndimi mfom nko akon HSS china Togo be take now the Ghana army at the border. Now we 10. Yamenfa umaka umfa ya huwa de maum. Next room kokum 5. Like I said, no, let's say 5 ne room ko and 10 no. 5 yem from refi ni me border na Togo. Sana wo can say me.
But it is not the same thing. Sir, I know there or maybe na do but then
what is the work? What is the work of helicopter?
Many Ghanaians are asking, sir, 1 year ka say nanka was say you send 2 helicopter for ko no. What was the need for that? Rather, no ambulances are one round, any asrap for a one round. No monk share. That is what many are saying.
About your ambulance, Ben a bit me rock in Ramho. Car Ben a bit my coho. And you more trouble, please. And any more trouble space. Any mountainous mountain climbers war. I didn't see in Ram. A Sirama, an interior training soldier phobia from airborne. Ah, your training soldier phobia from parachuters. Sa oma equipment in a sihon. Senya say air passengers, air politicians negum, and a soldier for neguma, and dear military drills exercise. Yet the parachuters shame. Entinka womunya problem no. So womuya airborne and womuya so yes, you train how to use parachute here. Womunya crisis in the air no the parachute no be share bi. Ko be bia mo nyina sisi. Enu nti no say yes aircraft na na yen sanfa nko. The simplest version na say you were airborne unless a Ghana Air Force be catch them say you need airborne be more Ghana. Airborne won fati o kwa ko gina eja no ho no de plane ko gina eja no ho. O si di ahoma e na esi. Anasi o si a parachute and or DTS in this case no e nwuram e na ye nnua enti on release paratroopers. Name of airborne for ne di ahoma plane ni hand o wiem. Na ahoma ne 1,000 feet down or di ahoma ne be si me pacho what ya say. Enti aircraft na esi no eno so chair Z9 no a ekohwe ase no enti Z9 na hwe ase na o ka chem se yensa amfa nko ne ja ehye dia na kese we have no business but the make any na ne say we ma yenya asuade as a country say ye military na wo ho no ye nko ntokwada Ghana Army have challenged it ye nko ntokwada ye call only peacekeeping ye say Ghana soldiers are call Liberia peacekeeping. Yes, soldiers are called Lebanon a peacekeeping. Ghana soldiers are called Sudan a peacekeeping. Obi anko combative no anko. But when amaye who say your weaknesses our your air force. Na we so amaye who say as long as your airport na passenger plane ye adwuma wo Ghana ha. Na nkofo fuko tamale passenger plane ko Kumasi e ko Oboase. Eye deni ayeye nipa na human institution no. Enya me no mienu baby ene anachina nyame maninsi but the reality of the matter is that ebibi beba ne bia nyame anhwe ye na ebia passenger aircraft bi akwa ahokyirem air force for no omu ni nipa eso mtimi du o aircraft du ho eco rescue no wo himfa ye ni air force no said ye hunu no because abaye no ye wo wing commander wa ha ye wo air vice marshal wa ha your air marshal ha mama obi obaka say bi kwatima ka say pilots no matise bi kika say omni experience sebia kohwisem because squadron leader no ne rank odi twisa plane no a higher than John Rollins, and Rollins is one of the best pilots military pilots yenya no a flight lieutenant sabi here ni nzo sua ka and then the car back out to CNE and the Ghana pilots now, as far as they are concerned, I'm concerned, they are well trained. CDS by near friend Ojo. Oh no, yes, CDS and say the president no fly no. Now I kufa the president kufa no air commander, army commander no fly home. And they are very good. When he is squadron leader, and they say army ni more, and a major, and a navy, and a naval lieutenant. And here fab helicopter and ship obi or squadron leader mo abroni experience. Since what they make no. And true no we've talked a lot. Ghana for kasapa so ne koso. Meaning say we are diplomatic and security consultant. Send your foul say come and consult, talk to us about near SCA no near send your any Ghana for the kasa information send flow no how do we stop it and all of that, and what in your expert view caused this? What would you tell them? What I'll tell them is say up to now inability of the Ghana Civil Aviation as a head and as a Ghana Airport Police, our head of the rescue team, and as a Air Force yenya sa wo nyina betra table ho Air Force Commander Tiha, Chief of Defense Staff Tiha, Ghana Civil Aviation officials Tiha, Ghana Airport Police Tiha. Now it is being led by the Air Force. We go on and play no. Woman yes kind of your friend is saying press statement and I said press engagement with to inform Ghanaians said even though yenyantie black box is only what happened to the aircraft and the pilot in the car. Name of the process and then no said the makano ni plane no baby or funny baby or confine in the height and the BB pilot to be our air or Becca Sansan wo BB hitting a flight or Becca and no more aviation control for no more into Momaka's a preliminary investigation so far the ni nimni or 2 year no the ane ne kan ye nie na wadu ha na wadu asaman kese anase no wadu mankasim ene yenhu ni biem na yenhu no ekwan be so yeka se Kumasi for ntrake Kumasi for si wo manhu no ene yeka se we say na ya asem no na obi antimi speculate basisi samosimo mekasa na ye de concentration nyina ye ayie then some of us still bisa say ayie no kra ye and fine ya mamre but ye wie ye investigation ye dikosi wo mu na DNA no ye ne say forensic na omo bano na they would need even the bodies forensic no they would have needed even the bodies to some extent but say womo concentrate on the aircraft na aircraft nso ba bia hwe ho ni nyina apagya enti dama nkofo kasa ne say so kofa American experts ba omunye sebi dwarf omunye sebi sunsun okwa akofia ba bia plane toye okwa akofia ba bia ne tail no etiltisi etoye okwa akofia ba bia black box no ena mabisa se black box no mechanic for ne kotu ya na se aviation inspectors ni nyina ka samre ni press conference aka yen kai until you allow the public to speculate. Who now work is the inability and the gap of information. Who so mom say any young black box, and your black box need the only thing that comes out with. Manda wuni bibi. So Poland, country Polanda. Your fair company be BRD. BRD, me no kase we are mess sendi womu. The actual. I am their consultant aircraft now me young man. Sir aircraft we inquire. Government helicopters sir. Poland government weja yusu. Now we refurbish. Now we turn other countries sir. Europe for never be created to be a machine at 25. I'm an agent. A Czech Republic. Meaning what I'm talking about. Croatia. I was there just last year. Martina aircraft in Ibimu at the 4 hours from Krakow to Warsaw. The same I know how it is designed. Enti yet sanya manase na nipa dodo na ni sebi media forum senye we aba minua banka outwe ebi onim too much of the technical details go into helicopter go into aircraft go into pilot air traffic control conversation and intina some of us ni chirem say plane na ntukwa wo share ni speed obeko o share baby a offer o share ni height oko obesi forma or check how many feet and obe lower obedi how many minutes and the basic form or the 3 minutes they see from ningina waka any air traffic control di hu command sana plane be take nti afia ba ne sen yenti bibia biem se obi ankasa to you allow nti so busa me adwenkyere dia me adwenkyere ba ko se ni agencies na mabobodi ni nyina no a omuwo Ghana Air Accident Rescue Operation Team ya establish womu by Police Act. Ya drills at Kotoka International Airport. Ya stimulations. Last 3 years, stimulations. Last 4 years, yebi. Oma yesa stimulations in anti simulations in no. Ekosi sen. Ena baby a duino. Air accident si na yanti obianka. Until that one there, obi abe simulate. Mahu enemi bi mi modin. Obi di abetu no page say when ya the update information. Our so aje camera our ye sabi journalist be our so or your podcaster I say also now tie nsem na wo kana some of us yam hwehwe say otimi kan nsem ne niam a wo so wo hu any information wa grab now tie ni technical reconciliation with the story on the ground ni dey see na you can clearly tell say ni pay sabi on aircraft onim helicopter on tie dey no crash Benam say we popular person no feel say or media ninti no or the abeto say when you sensitive information na wutie dia work anytime I play ni 2 year any ni technical details I'm na me say afim I don't want even to listen but there will be a wonim a wotie class no obetie ni say dia work na no kra na mo masem ba ko am de betudwa any say we fidie so na de be ma wunua journalist ni en Ghana fo nyina say ye ka Hero is not only the person asebi nyame ato ne nsa afre no wo ahokyirem ene yamu because we sojani ana we politician enya no nko a say yaka heroes a wo so play a role e was that issue ya the first man sabi nipa no gina na fum a wo fo bepo no a wo nante being the first person otimi ko gina machine ho gya ne hia helpless wontimi nyehwe yesie ye nuamo yamu national barrier ya war speeches ya yetie nyinara president speech obema, politician speech omabema, asofo speech omabema. Yenye nipa ba kukura menenti man commande sebi if not anything at all in class for na military play not from na military ewu it's only Ghana na soja ni wu a akurasi ni sebi otine fum and a koswa ni body ne nkase yentima ma even one commendation or one recognition yentima ma the first person to see the accident yentima nko krom one boys na swa sebi nkase no emu se mo the ages under 25 say must show bravery na must show say mo ye Ghanaians eno ne fe patriotism intino mo kra no boys yemfa mo military yentima anya baako yentima nan kurasefo na yentima mfa kro no ohene ama yentima mfa ekro no emu nipa boys na ekọ hokọ so anema ekọ nwire no mu ansa no mbe kire regional ministers aha na ade ndan papa mama speech e tie nyina ni ho a ye command wo mu this is very bad and the country should bow her head down in shame. Say if you're talking about heroism in the case of America, these people are the people you could call them the patriots. Without them, could be any baby a playing toy. Without their sacrifices, command could say baby a machine war. Find a tea womunka. Find a tea womassimo speech in mu. A moody in the deca coffee fair class by a betcha said papa way and it need the first person or communicating money chrome in our ben. Aside from some of us, ye name what other countries do. And when we relate it to diplomacy and compare to diplomacy now, maybe before a few years you say yes, sound kofa, me sure say ye as a nation. It is a beer, escape obi, and as state officials, we should not see them as enemies. We should see them as they were the people who were the torch bearers for us to know they see it. So Oma Meka and Kobianim. Oma mekanke ni baby a play ni toye. Oma mfo bopona nkwa anke ya hu bibia ehye on top of it. Oma sweat and yes after body di kura omu and a soldier for ye nkase no or said di echi no video. Adenti ne ye such a program. Na ya ntima mention wo mu. Ye ntima da wo mase. Ye ntima mo mamba ne yesu country no yesu ye ntima nye bibia mom. Is it normal? Is it normal as a state?
That's a big question. Is it normal? Now I'm saying, what's someone working in a baby? I will go swear hammer. I say the flow of information must come from the right sources. So that there are speculation. That will be true. Have I spoken your mind?
That is exactly what you are talking about. And I'll add to say, forensic na mosumoko from free American about. Play new air China on air machine. And the Chinese forensic air first. Now Chinese forensic budget black box na analyze and ye ni bi krum ha decode and ye ni bi krum ha enti ebetima ka chom say the same machine no France for one version enti yem fam ko China eno mu ko analyze ni aka say o ma yi sensitive information bi an technical we ye film enti ye investigator no ebeka ho na Chinese investigator na ka ni ye cry black box e we yensem ni nyina de akọ France and de akọ America near their cautious stimulator near tea. And I'm still a country no on timmy man and him CP say a quan say na me faso ye investigation. Menu to ye nim the air. And it's all catch him say black boss America former boy America or Beckruma Ghana Air Force. Madam Cratch said plane there she I am fed being account says I know can China catch Ghana for. Ain't she I was suggestion to me go to me refer. Say Madam Cratches idea name you no baako share mfa baako nkoka ho. Enti say stimulator no eni bia. Enti ye beja France for na America for de ne ba no. Forensic no okwa akwhwe ne hene. Ade nye tape ne de bo. Enti de ampa no de be analyze black box no. And a black box na ye nia de fitafo ne ko tutu ye maybe. Eno no se bibia say a be take 6 months and say no make me piece it together. And send the detailed report. That is the sensitivity of it. Because I could touch it both to be crowned one touching here. And non damage information, but to decode it, say the 1 month the baby killed there, it may take more than 3 months. At the 3 months the baby killed there, it may take about 1 year. And to Nina ya debia a hard journey. And immediately Ghana Air Force me panicha woni airborne for and then the parachute, the paratroopers, what go sa base, paratrooper, no more tamale, no starting there, no more training paratroopers. Africa, I knew he also didn't be South Africa Air Force, we are very strong in the air. Our good airborne. Egypt, one of the best in Africa. Algeria, one of the best. Yamsha 3 countries. Morocco, one of the best. Niam fire Air Force for no Konyanko overhaul womji. Niam training ye. Na country be on spending one the army, on spending one the Air Force, on spending one the military is not worth dying for. Because the defense is them.
Wahab, salute, sir. Salute to you, sir. And thank you so much for joining us on the Max Morning Show. I really, really appreciate everything you have said. Watch it, now what you said, my education, and then so the Biabe account on Yankupong in Shirao Papa, Yeda CP. I was here for Farouk Al-Wahab. And Yanino Edin Komona, me did say, Farouk Al-Wahab, answer no Bekono, or the last words be a person or the Mayana. I will say, your man of that opportunity because in himself, I dream do ye pa. Around Pacho your trail.
As my mechanic said, a man in shedding, a was yan shedding, yin and shedding. Nemo Sam Suba, yan shed a yawa, a was yan 4 and knee at the 4 and 4 kum. And a yawa mani kum, of course. A binan kasa or man penny yao mukum. Na yen sema ebia yekan bina makanen se die nimno ya yen susu emma eyem hihye yen susu emenko na ban no soso na asede a ese woye ewo mrihia musie no omma asede no yen hu nipa wo ne oman ne kasa a wote die si nase yehu nipa oni omani di hu nkuta ho na se media for seminua ba fefetu na open information a winning baby a okoji information nemom se wo ji information wo tiktoker and now ji information of podcaster and now ji information obi a ho a sabi obeka enye wo so fault eye watesem na so ma watifo achi onu omuhye eni kwa se bansa enti Ghana enye esuade na bibia amana ni de chichiro mindset mfomso bi ba yemfa sa mfomso no emfa nyembra emfa nsuade no man ntim konanim. That is how a country develops progressively. Ya dia yaw ani ahoche ene di develop on mind nyame nka mu nyina mo
Supi Abusua adwumapa on demand service for na ekase adwumapa on demand for say o pese wudi dwuma bia nkankangana fo am wabrochire a obehia nipa didi so ya tilers and answer building constructors, fashion designers, just auto mechanical bia o pese wudi sedwuma bia ma no obekọ ye app no so na wa download adwumapa on demand service ayasa so obekọ www.adwumapa-on-demand-service eno so beko ko hu edwumadi edi nyina ne trimopo nyina ne se ye boawo ema okokofo obi ana wudi dwuma bi a nipa a okokofa no esansa wunnim na kira kwan bia nti no to bi kura nipa na gisika wie open here na hu no adwumapa-on-demand fo aba ama sa ha nyina afiri ho esansa obi bia ya de be ma so woni dwuma bia ma no ya ye background checks ehun se nipa yi onim ne wo ye enye kwanche trefa ni bia wonim de wo ye ene ye fa no edna ma wo na ni December ko omu ne se onipa bia de be ma wo a odi be di dwuma bia no sabe background no sem anase si ebu afa so pa dia enya de besi na wan so san nim se sabe ko soja mumpo a ye wo military police ono so soja ni ochi soja ni eno me kire mu se eye adwumapa on demand for no ye san so supervisors a abre nyina no omko rounds check se adwuma na nipa no de bedan ye no sa pepepe ene ye no na se adwumapa on demand de omama adwuma no aye simple se bibi ni ena onte ase ampacho no wafa numbers no aye gusuo no no wafre